In the year 138 BC, Zhang Qian was riding his horse with 100 men on a road just like this one, not realizing he's making history with each forward step. Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty had sent Qian, a military officer, to explore beyond China's hostile western neighbors. After a long and dangerous journey, reaching as far as India and today's Uzbekistan, Zhang returned home. He told the emperor of the sophisticated civilization he encountered, rich in culture and exotic products that China could trade its silk and other goods with. It is told that when Emperor Wu sniffed cinnamon brought over from Sri Lanka for the first time, he jumped out of his throne in surprise. By 106 BC, the road traveled by Qian became the Silk Road, the world's first global trade route, a vast network connecting the Far East with the Middle East and Europe. This road launched an era of globalization, open borders and international supply chain, forever transforming our world. It was 1588, in the small English town of Calverton, when clergyman William Lee was attempting to court his love, Rosalind. Yet, Rosalind's busy schedule, knitting stockings for the family business, left little room for romance. One day, as the young William waited by her terrace, watching her hands move and knit, an idea popped in his head that would change people's lives for centuries to come. This idea was the very first stocking frame knitting machine, imitating the movements of hand knitters, but doing it with far better precision and over 15 times faster. This humble invention not only awarded William Lee with Rosalind's hand in marriage, it also quickly replaced hand knitting all over the world, providing mass-produced stockings to a growing market, launching the era of consumerism. It was 1735 in Vienna, when Marcus Antonius Plancic, a young Slovenian medical student, fell ill. In the 1700s, the predominant theory of disease transmission was called miasma, which held that diseases were caused by toxic bad air. Throughout the Middle Ages, treatment for miasma included praying, fasting, bloodletting, leeches, and purging. From his hospital sickbed, Plancic noticed that doctors who washed their hands between patients were less frequently infected. Perhaps, he thought, diseases are actually caused by tiny biological organisms beyond the human eye, transferred between people by touch. Plancic published his new idea in his book Opera Medico-Physica, calling it germ theory, revolutionizing medical practices and ushering in a new era of human longevity, doubling human life expectancy from 1700 to the early 1900s. In 1839, a stagecoach accident in Tennessee ended the esteemed sailing career of naval officer Matthew Fontaine Maury. No longer able to set sail, Maury was tasked with reducing sea voyage durations from the Naval Observatory, setting the world on a momentous new path. Reading through hundreds of Navy ship logs, Maury noticed that most routes seemed random, based on sailors' reliance on anecdotal evidence to avoid dangerous weather. He realized there could be a more accurate and reliable way of setting sailing routes. Maury instructed US vessels to collect meteorological data throughout their voyage. He then aggregated, standardized, and analyzed it, identifying routes with favorable winds and currents. He presented his findings in his 1851 work, Sailing Directions, reducing the time for a sea voyage from New York to San Francisco by 47 days. More importantly, Maury's work gave birth to the era of big data analytics. And the rest, as they say, is history. The fourth and final new era realization is that we have reached human limits on mastering complexity. Life has its difficulties, but us humans are particularly challenged by moments of uncertainty and moments that are out of our control. The first few months of COVID were filled with both, creating a new level of complexity for governments and organizations. It cemented the understanding that such complexity requires a complete new set of tools. The new era will be driven by a process I refer to as AIization, based on the realization that the only way to deal with today's complexity and scale is by broadly embedding smart AI to take over in those places where humans reach their capacity. Another dynamic is that the only leading software companies of the new era will be AI companies. Following the unprecedented disorder of recent years, enterprise executive teams stand helpless against out-of-control complexities combined with extreme shortage and rising labor costs. The only way for organizations to thrive will be with AIization. By injecting purpose-built AI into every process and using smart automation to efficiently manage complexity at scale and reduce costs. NICE is in an extremely strategic position here. Across our markets, we provide groundbreaking AI-driven solutions with our unmatched domain-specific data assets, replacing complexity with specific, contextual, and efficient AI. Lastly, the new era is welcoming the adoption of the suite form. A combination of comprehensive application suite with a strong platform foundation. Cloud adoption is in full swing for large enterprises. Yet, there is growing disappointment, both with cloud platforms that offer limited and generic applications, as well as the impossible to manage enterprise tech stack clutter built from dozens of best-of-breed point solutions. This mandates a shift of the software market to providers of suite form as a new market standard. A powerful fusion of an underlying cloud-native platform at scale with a complete suite of seamlessly integrated applications. NICE is uniquely prepared for the approaching suite-form wave. Our flagship platforms, CX1, Excite, and Evidence Central, are built from the ground up in true suite-form fashion.